What's up, Patreon? I was going to put out my review for American Animals today on the page, but I started thinking, sitting down at work, had a little bit of free time today, and I'm like, what could I do that's relevant, you know, before I push out that American Animals review, which I will do this week. It's coming to the Patreon page. I want to talk about Creed, and I know there are officially 4 patrons now. Hold up, can't forget about John Bailey. Thank you so much for being the new member of the Patreon page. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. I want you to comment and talk about movies all the time. Thank you so much for participating, and to my 3 other patrons. We got a good squad going. I want to keep it going. I want to keep the content coming out and make sure you guys participate as well, because it's not just me doing this page. It's all of us. This is our page. It's our place to talk about movies. I know I got a request for Narcos Mexico spoiler review. I am going to sit down, get some notes, and write down the things that I like the most about that show and record that as a Patreon exclusive video as well. But I want to talk about Creed. It's a film that came out, I believe it was 2015, one of my favorite movies of that year. If I'm not mistaken, I should have looked at this before I started. I think it's 4th for that year. It's in my top 5 100%. I love this film, and I'm so excited for Creed 2. I get to see it on Tuesday, tomorrow, after I get off of work. I know a lot of people have already seen it, reviewed it, whatever. I'm in Kentucky. I can't do that, but Creed was so great because you have Ryan Coogler behind the camera. If you guys don't know who he is, he directed Creed, Fruitvale Station, Black Panther, 3 fantastic films, and he nailed and delivered on a Rocky movie that first off made Rocky a supporting character and brought us a new character. And it's a story you hear going in, you're like, oh, it's the son of, it's Apollo and blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be silly. No, Creed is one of the best boxing movies I have ever seen, and I know a lot of people would get mad at me if I said this. I don't even know if I'd ever say this on YouTube. I think Creed is better than Rocky. I've watched both multiple times. I haven't watched Rocky in about a year and a half. I need to watch it again just to get psyched for Creed 2. I think it's my favorite boxing movie. That and Warrior are my 2 favorite fighting movies of all time, in that style, of course. But it just did everything right. It had a tone that it established at the beginning of the movie. It brought us a great soundtrack, a great score, a fantastic performance from Michael B. Jordan, and arguably an even better performance from Sylvester Stallone, who got nominated for an Oscar, and I was rooting for him that year. Now, I know the performances were great. Tom Hardy was fantastic that year. He didn't even win. Who won that year? The guy that was just recently in Ready Player One. Why can't I think of his name? I don't know. But he should have won. I thought Sylvester Stallone was fantastic coming back as this character. Hold on, switching lanes. No cuts in this video. We're doing it all natural, switching lanes. We're good. No, I thought all the performances were great. Get a first little tidbit of Tessa Thompson. And it was so funny when I was watching Thor Ragnarok. I turned to my brother and I said, you know, that's the girl from Creed. And he goes, what? And yeah, she's just great. She's dynamic. You don't really recognize her. She was in Annihilation as well. She's great in that. But Creed's just a movie that does everything right. It's, oh, my face. Hello. It's very red. Performances, writing, the screenplay was fantastic. It's a little predictable towards the end. The whole cancer storyline with Rocky was something that was like, okay, we saw the sickness element coming because they've done it before in these fighting movies, and Sylvester Stallone's old, so who else are you going to give something like that to other than the old guy in the story? I'm about to run this red light. Still yellow. We're good. But yeah, a little bit of that, and a little bit of predictability within the fights. But if we're talking about the fights, then we have to talk about the film style of these fights. Guys, Creed, the best boxing scene. I will say, hand-to-hand combat fight scene of the decade, maybe of the century. That one take in the middle is flawless. I kid you not. It is flawless filmmaking. It's flawless choreography, everything about it. I will go back sometimes, not even watch the movie. I'll just go back and watch that scene. It's so good. It gives you everything you want in a boxing movie. in a boxing scene. But the fighting in Creed is great. And I even love the end. When they come together, they have the people from ESPN that are actually there doing the commentating. Thought that was fantastic, guys. Creed, for me, it doesn't do 100% everything right, but it does the majority right. It is one of my top 50 of all time. I believe it's in my top 40 movies. I'm talking movies in general of all time. So my excitement level for Creed 2. Now, I've kind of decided, not decided, but I have a hunch that this isn't going to be as good as the first one, because when you don't bring back a director like Ryan Coogler, it's going to be challenging to bring us something as good. But I think, what's his name, Stephen Caple Jr., I think he will do a solid job as long as they give me a respectable sequel and not a sequel that I walk out rolling my eyes towards. I know the fighting may not be as good, maybe even the soundtrack. I know the soundtrack just released, I have to go check that out. But guys, I am so excited for Creed 2, and Creed 1 is just one of my favorites. I believe I gave it a 93 or a 94%. I can't remember. I know I rounded it more to a 9 than I did a 10 just because of a little bit of predictability and a couple storylines. But overall, I think the movie's fantastic. I need to watch it again. Who knows? The more I watch it, the more I might be like, hey, this is a perfect movie. But that's how it is with all movies. You either go up or down. You rarely stay right where you were the first time you saw it. It's the beauty of film, in my opinion. But thank you guys for watching this. I know it was random. Like I said, when I do these ride home videos, I'm going to try to keep it all the way through. So if I stumble or stutter, or if there's a giant red light on my face, I'm going to keep it in just because I want to be real with you guys. You know, my YouTube page is for me to put out really, I wouldn't even say serious, just reviews in that style. And I'll put those out on here every now and then. Like when I had time with the Hate You Give review, I put that out, did my jump cuts and whatnot. But the ride home, we're just going to talk. We're going to have a little conversation, converse a little bit. My goodness. Hey, look like the devil. But be sure to leave your comments. Let's talk about Creed in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if you guys like the movie, if you're excited for the second one, and if you're even going to see it. You got Green Book and Ralph Breaks the Internet coming out. And also, this is just for you guys. I just bought tickets to an early screening of Aquaman on a Saturday. So I will be coming out with that review, I guess, whenever the embargo lifts, which may be at that point. I would say it'll be at that point just because I think it's getting an international release before it is in the United States. But yeah, I get to see Aquaman early. That's cool. I'm really excited. I rarely get to see movies early because I live in Kentucky and nobody's ever heard of an early screening around here. But this is one of those cool chances. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said, let's talk about Creed. And I'm working on a lot of stuff for Patreon right now, as well as YouTube. We have a full week this week. A lot of reviews. Creed 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Green Book, the Kurt Russell Santa Claus movie on Netflix on Thursday. A lot of cool stuff. And I still want to see Instant Family. I need to stop talking. I'm going to talk y'all's ear off. I will catch you guys very soon.